Hello everybody, welcome back. Check this out. All pretty neat, eh? If you thought that was cool, that's because I've been practicing and pulling a couple of all-nighters to try to learn how to do these basics. But now that I've finished basking in my little bit of glory for now, which took me a heck of a long time to learn how to do that, let's get into it. Kia ora koutou, hello everybody and welcome back. This video is long overdue. It is a thank you and recognition on behalf of both Brian Osman and myself, co-founders for Epich Aotearoa, Create a Better Future podcast and our YouTube channel. We want to take this time and opportunity to express our thanks and appreciation to all our wonderful supporters. This thank you and acknowledgement is long overdue, we know. That's purely because we've been busy with our own bits and pieces, as well as that I've needed to try to learn and educate myself in order to be able to try to put something half decent together to recognise and thank our supporters out there. Quick disclaimer before we get started and before you see the content that will be shown in this video, I've taken some time to blank out the details where applicable and left in the details of those showing on certain other bits of information that you'll view on here where applicable as well. Up first, we just want to take some time to acknowledge and thank all our guests that have been on the Epich Aotearoa Create a Better Future podcast to date. Your stories, your examples, the things in which you've taken the time to share with our audience and with Brian and I have truly been inspirational and have really helped us with regards to our journey and what we're striving to do as individuals and collectively by sharing your lived experiences with our audience. It is because of your stories and your experiences that you've been kind enough to share that have helped with regards to the feedback and support that we have been continuing to enjoy right up to this day. First up, we are truly amazed and impressed and thankful for those individuals who have contacted us that are either currently serving in the Defence Force or seeking to join the ranks of the Defence Force, and in particular have felt inspired and uplifted by the messages shared by former operators. These messages that you're viewing on the screen that are coming through have been shared with us from individuals that are seeking to one day join the ranks of the Special Air Service. And that's so cool to hear, knowing that they've gained something even so small that it's helped them to be able to give them that drive or help them in their mindset or help them maybe with some of their physical preparation training prior to going on selection. We have nothing but respect for you and wish you all the very best as you seek to join those ranks. It is going to be tough, it is going to be challenging physically, mentally, emotionally, practically. All of those things are going to be coming into play, but we're confident that as you've listened to some of the stories of those that have been kind enough to share their messages, particularly during the Who Dares Win series, that you'll be able to glean from and lean on some of those experiences to be able to help you through, if that's where you really want to be. I'm trying to leave these screenshots in play for you so that you can have a chance to read some of the wonderful support that we've been fortunate enough to read and receive and which we get weekly. We're very, very grateful for all of that, and we hope that we can continue to provide content worthy of your time and your attention. What's been really incredible and amazing has been seeing and reading and receiving and talking with individuals that have felt in some way, shape or form uplifted, motivated, driven by the content provided on the podcast. We're really grateful to know that it's having a positive impact, even just in one person's life, let alone the number of people that we've been really blessed and fortunate to be able to interact with today. In this screenshot, you can see the comments of a former Defence Force service person who has taken the time to express and share through their email some of the impact which the Epich Aotearoa Create a Better Future podcast has had on them, and in particular some of the messages shared through the Who Dares Win series. We're really, really grateful, and what really stood out and made me, or basically made my day and made my week, was reading how the 15 to 16 weeks that he's been on, or that he's been listening to the podcast from time to time, or from most days, he hasn't had a drink, he's been exercising daily, and his relationship with his wife and his son is the best it's ever been. I'm super grateful to be able to read this information and to be able to receive these types of messages and texts and comments, and it makes it all worth it. That being said, Anybody that's taken the time to either listen to and or watch our podcast on YouTube will know that it's definitely a work in progress. Let's just say that we've got a heck of a lot more work to do, but we're working really hard to be able to try to improve the service and the delivery that we provide to you, particularly with regard to the guests that we have on as well. We want to be able to try to communicate their messages in a really good way, and part of that is down to us and the work that we put in to trying to present that. So here we received some information from a person who has given us some good feedback, and it's great to know, and it's disappointing from our side obviously, but it shows us that we've got some work to do, which we already knew. We've just been quite time poor, but we will get there. We're slowly improving day by day, and we'll definitely get a lot better in the weeks and months and years to come. This brief screenshot, man, really blew me away as one of the comments on our videos, obviously for Bill Bestick's interview that we had. And to know that there's people out there that have been kindly donating to the functioning of our Epich Aotearoa Create a Better Future podcast through the website. There's a donate button on there. Thank yous so much. Really, really do appreciate it. And yeah, it's just blowing us away. We weren't expecting and didn't expect anything like that. We just had a few comments from people that asked how do they continue to support and or contribute so that this podcast can continue going on for a long, long time. And then we had some other people suggest, you could put a donate button on the website. So the donate button hasn't been on there very long, maybe about a month or so. So today being the 1st of March 2022. And man, we've just been so grateful for those that have taken the time to contribute. Doesn't matter how large or small it's been, those contributions and those donations certainly do help, and they enable us to be able to try to improve as well with regards to what we're doing now. So hopefully it's a step in the right direction with regards to what we're trying to do, and that you don't feel like your donations, your generous donations, are being wasted. This one here is really close to my heart. When receiving text messages from former operators that have been out for a while, maybe not necessarily as long as me, but some of them have been out longer than me as well, it's really, for me anyway, it's very touching, especially when I'm reading messages like this and they've taken the time to have a watch as well of my wife's episode, and they're watching other ones, and to know that it's connected with them in some way, and that they're able to recognize those things as I'm still trying to learn and recognize in myself, but also understanding that there is opportunity to continue to grow and to continue to get better, and to hopefully pay it forward in a way that's going to help the next generation of those that might heed the call, and or just people in general. So yeah, I love this one. Man, we've been inundated with messages coming through Instagram, through Facebook Messenger, through emails, and some phone calls. Not a heck of a lot of phone calls, which has been quite good, to be honest, because those, what initially is wanting to be a brief phone call by the person that's calling, turns into quite a long phone call, and there's nothing wrong with that. We want to give them the time and hear them out, and also acknowledge and thank them for taking their time to give us a call. But we've been just so pleased. We couldn't have imagined anything like this happening, and so to see it unfolding before our eyes, and granted some of these messages are from a while back, so we wanted to try to put these things up because I mentioned late last year that I would be doing my best to try to give a bit of a shout out and thank you, and I haven't really done that properly up until this time. Well, trying to do it better this time around anyway, by putting this stuff out there, blanking out their details where applicable. But we certainly do appreciate you and really, really value your support. To know that our podcast and the guests that we're privileged to have on, and through their lived experiences, can have such an impact, or a profound impact, on individuals to think about where they've come from, to think about where they're at now, where they may be in a rut like this particular one, and for them to realize and understand that their potential is far greater and beyond anything that they can probably even think of or comprehend right now, and then to know that they're about to take action, or that they're taking action and working towards achieving those things. And then sharing that with Brian and I has been, I can't adequately put it into words other than to thank these individuals that are going about and giving us of their time to go the extra mile and share this stuff with us. It really does give us a huge boost. It really does make our day and make us smile. And from time to time, I'll be completely honest, some of the messages received, like one of the ones shared earlier in this presentation, or this thank you and shout out about how his relationship with his wife and his son is the best it's ever been, that actually brought a tear to my eye. But very, very grateful, super privileged to be in the space that we're in right now, both Brian and I. And it's because of you guys out there and girls and those listening and contributing and supporting, whether it's through comments, whether it's through contacting us and just giving us or sending us a quick simple text message or whatever the case might be. And obviously goes without saying, those that have also been kind enough to donate to us financially. To read messages like this that come not only through YouTube comments like this particular person, but also again the text messages, Messenger and Instagram messages that come through, man, it's just, it blows our minds. Shout out Dr. Paul Wood. I have definitely passed this message on to trauma physician and anaesthetist Bill Bestick, and I've been nagging him to write a book as well. So I sincerely hope that he does. It would be incredible and so helpful to so many people. But sometimes it's like, what's that? It's like trying to get blood out of a stone, or it's like pulling teeth with Bill at times. But hopefully one day. He said to me when I write a book, then he would. So I've done an ebook so far, and I've got the second one pretty much done. So I don't know if that counts, but I will just give him an extra little nudge and say, hey, I've done my first couple of ebooks. It's your turn, mate. You need to do and write a proper book. What a privilege it has been to reconnect with former operators and current serving members of the unit as well, and both here in New Zealand and over in Australia. And it's always great to just touch base and check in with them, and I appreciate when they touch base and check in with me and see how I'm going and how my family is. This was a guy that I was fortunate enough to be on cycle with here in NZ, but did not have the opportunity due to my own mistakes to go on and serve with him. He's a badged operator. He's out now doing his own thing, but it's been great to reconnect with him. I got his details, reached out, and we've been having a bit of back and forth, but it just highlighted to me the value of that connection that's made, those bonds that are made, and also the importance of checking in with each other, no matter where we're at in our stage of life. Maybe just a simple text, or better yet, a phone call, or even better, in person, a random drop-in could be just the thing one of the brothers or sisters needs to give them a pick-me-up. I know this definitely gave me a pick-me-up when I received the message back from my good friend. Definitely can't close out this thank you and appreciation and acknowledgement of not only our supporters and the guests that we've had on again, but also this gentleman. I remember being in Baghdad at the time when this documentary was being released, and serving with some of his very close friends who are much closer to him than I am, and some of those who were involved in that particular event where Willie received his VC. They brought the documentary back, and I remember just sitting there watching it and just being in awe of this man, just his humility and the way he conducted himself in there. And it's been a real privilege for me to be able to share some time and space with him out on his property here recently. Sadly for me, he's going to be relocating to another area for specific reasons which are going to really help positively impact a whole bunch of people, but particularly military veterans. And I'm looking forward to hopefully being able to have a part in that, but to be able to participate in that when he gets into that more fully. So until then, I'm very grateful, and Brian and I are grateful for the opportunity that we will have coming up, whereby Willie has said to me that he would like to come on the podcast, and man, that blew me away. Would love to have him on, and we'll do anything that we can to make sure that it's within the way in which he wants it conducted, and done in a respectful manner, obviously, and sharing his story and where he's at now and what he's wanting to share about the things that he's got going on, because he's got a heck of a lot of stuff happening, and people, I believe anyway, are really going to love it and want to get on board, whether that's to participate and or whether that's to support it. So if you do either one of those things, you're not going to go wrong. So that's the thanks and appreciation and acknowledgement, ladies and gentlemen, particularly to those that have taken the time, sent us messages, have picked up the phone and called us. I, on behalf of Brian Osmond and myself, sincerely apologise that I've not been able to put up everybody's or every message that we've received. There have been literally, I would say, hundreds, not thousands, but there's definitely been hundreds of messages which we've received, and we're really, really stoked and grateful for that, not to mention the conversations that we've been fortunate enough to have. So thank you so much for your time, for your energy, for your support. We definitely feel it. It gives us a lift every single time we read one, or we pick up the phone and we have a conversation, or we open our email and there's a message there from one of you guys and girls out there passing on your thanks to us. I just want to make mention that obviously it's not Brian and I, that it's not our messages and stories that are helping you and our supporters feel the things that you feel and to be able to make progress the way that you are. It's been through those lived experiences of the guests that we've been fortunate enough to have on, and I guess hopefully the authenticity that comes through those guests and their intention behind sharing a small piece of who they are and their lifestyle, in the hope of not only creating a better future, but continuing to strive to serve others. Thank you very much for stopping by once again, and we hope that you'll continue to support us on our journey, and we especially hope that you'll continue to take something away positive that you can apply in your life. Who dares wins.